You know, if you look across the deserts of Egypt right now, something absolutely massive is happening. We're talking futuristic cities, literally rising out of the sand, all promising a brand new era. But here's the thing. This incredible vision is unfolding while many Egyptians are feeling some serious economic pressure. So let's dive into that. How do these two realities exist at the same time?
Okay, so you've got this split-screen reality. On one side, you have the day-to-day, where about half the population is really struggling with high prices and just trying to make ends meet. And then, on the other side, you have this just unbelievably massive vision. A whole new capital city, so over the top it's slated to have an amusement park 4 times the size of Disneyland. I mean, that contrast, that's really at the heart of this whole story.
So that brings us to the big question, right? The one we're going to tackle in this explainer. What is the strategy here? Why on earth would you pour billions and billions of dollars into these mega projects when the economy is already under so much strain? Is this a huge, reckless gamble, or is it a calculated long-term plan for the future?
To really get what's going on, you have to understand the sheer scale of this thing. We're not just talking about 1 or 2 flashy projects. No. This is a complete nationwide overhaul of the country's infrastructure. It's all part of a much grander strategy.
And it's not random. It's all officially framed under this banner called Egypt Vision 2030. Think of it like a roadmap for the country's future. And right at the top of the list is economic development. The idea is basically to build a whole new stage for the Egyptian economy to perform on.
Let's talk numbers, because honestly, they're staggering. First up, the new administrative capital. We're talking a colossal $58 billion project. It's designed to be a new center of government and, get this, a new home for 6.5 million people. The goal is to take some of the immense pressure off of an incredibly crowded Cairo.
But it's not just about buildings. Next, you've got a major pivot to new energy, a $30 billion investment in the Dabaa nuclear power plant. It's a joint project with Russia, and the whole point is to diversify Egypt's energy sources, to power all this new development.
And how do you connect all these new cities and power plants? Well, with a brand new $26 billion high-speed rail network. We're talking 1,800 kilometers of new track, linking up 60 cities across the entire country.
So this rail network, it's really meant to be the connective tissue for this whole vision. It's not just about linking the new cities. It's also about boosting the economy by moving tourists and goods way more efficiently. At the same time, the plan is for it to give 90% of Egyptians access to modern rail lines, and on top of all that, hit some really ambitious environmental targets, like a 70% cut in carbon emissions.
All right, now let's get to the one project that's been making all the headlines and stirring up a ton of controversy. We're heading to the north coast to look at the development of Rose-aly. This is where the scale and the stakes get even bigger.
Okay, get ready for this number. The total planned investment for Rose-aly is a breathtaking $150 billion. Now, to put that into perspective, that single number is pretty much equal to Egypt's entire national debt. It's a mind-blowing amount of money, designed to turn a beautiful stretch of coastline into a world-class destination.
So, you can imagine, a number that big immediately set off some serious alarm bells and sparked a huge debate. People started asking some very tough questions about what these massive foreign investment deals really mean.
And the question on everyone's mind was simple, and it was direct. Is Egypt just selling off its most valuable land to other countries? It's obviously a very sensitive topic, and the government has been working really hard to frame this deal in a very different light.
Okay, so let's break down the official structure of the Rose-aly deal. The partner is a sovereign wealth fund from the UAE. They're making an initial investment of $35 billion, which is, by the way, the largest single investment in Egypt's entire history. But here's the crucial detail, the government's core argument. Look at the structure. They say this is not a sale. It's a long-term development partnership, and under this deal, Egypt keeps a 35% share of all future profits from the project.
So, what exactly is this economic partnership model they keep talking about? Well, it's being pitched as a pretty smart, modern way to finance things. Think of it like this. Instead of taking on more high-interest debt, the country provides the asset, in this case undeveloped land, and the foreign partner puts up the massive amounts of cash needed to actually build on it. Then, both sides get to share in the profits for years to come.
And this all feeds into the bigger picture, right? The grand economic strategy behind all these investments. because these deals aren't just about building fancy resorts. They represent a fundamental shift in how Egypt wants to grow its economy.
So here's the bottom line. It's a strategic pivot. It's about getting away from that endless cycle of borrowing money and piling up debt. The idea is to use existing assets that are just sitting there, literally sand in this case, and turn them into active projects that create jobs, generate income, and bring in badly needed foreign currency. It's about unlocking the immense value that was already there.
And where is a huge chunk of that new income supposed to come from? You guessed it, tourism. And the ambition here is just massive. The goal is to literally double the number of tourists coming to Egypt every year, from about 15 million right now all the way up to 30 million. And these mega projects, like Rose-aly Hekma, are the engines that are supposed to make that happen.
But here's the interesting part. It's not just about getting more tourists. It's about attracting a whole different kind of tourist. The focus is shifting way up market to luxury travel. I mean, a tourist from the Gulf might spend $4,000 or even $5,000 on a single trip. And to get them to come, you can't just build seasonal resorts. You have to build fully integrated, year-round cities with things like international schools and world-class hospitals.
And there's one more layer to all of this: geopolitics. These huge investments from neighbors like the UAE and Qatar, they're more than just business deals. In a pretty volatile part of the world, they are incredibly powerful diplomatic tools. They're basically a huge vote of confidence in Egypt's future, and that can attract even more investment while also locking in some really important regional alliances.
So that brings us right back to where we started. You have this incredible futuristic vision of a new Egypt, powered by a whole new economic strategy. But the risks are every bit as massive as the projects themselves, and let's be honest, the final outcome is far from certain.
This quote, it just perfectly captures the public's concern. Because for the average person, the success of these plans won't be measured by how tall the next skyscraper is. It's going to be measured by real, tangible improvements in their own lives. Things like good jobs, affordable places to live, and decent public services.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question. Will all these mega projects really create a new, prosperous reality for all Egyptians? Or will they just become beautiful, luxurious cities that are ultimately empty? A stunning but totally unattainable mirage in the desert? Really, only time is going to tell.